Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are taking a deep dive into one of the most incredible structures in the human body, the eyeball. And if you're a medical student looking for a solid study guide, well, you've come to the right place. Let's get into it. You know, the best way to get your head around the eye is to think of it as this perfect little biological camera. It's self-focusing, self-cleaning, it's amazing. And just like any high-tech camera, it's built in distinct layers. Once you understand these layers, the whole system just clicks into place.
And it all boils down to this one number, 3. That's it. The entire globe of the eye is made up of 3 concentric layers, each one nested inside the other. Every single structure fits into one of these 3 layers. So we're going to peel them back one by one from the outside in.
So, here's our game plan. We'll start with the 3 main layers, the fibrous, the vascular, and the retinal layers. Then, we'll look inside at the fluids and chambers that are so crucial for keeping the eye's pressure just right. Okay, let's start with the very first layer, the outer fibrous layer. Think of this as the eye's tough, protective shell. It's got 2 main jobs, giving the eyeball its shape and strength, and, this is key, doing the very first bit of bending or focusing the light that comes in. Now, this layer has 2 main parts. First, you've got the sclera. That's the tough, white part of the eye that you can actually see. It makes up most of this layer, about 85%, and it's also the anchor point for all the muscles that let you look around. Then, right at the front, we have the cornea. It's this perfectly clear window that lets light in, and it does most of the heavy lifting when it comes to refracting that light. All right, let's dive one layer deeper. We're now in the middle, or vascular layer. If the outer layer is the protective shell, think of this layer as the service and control center. It's absolutely packed with blood vessels for nourishment, and it's home to the tiny muscles that control focus and how much light gets into the eye. So this layer has 3 key players. You have the choroid, which is basically a web of blood vessels that feeds the back of the eye. Then there's the iris, the colored part of your eye, which works just like a camera's aperture, changing the pupil's size. And last but not least, the ciliary body. This little muscular ring is a real workhorse. It makes the fluid inside the eye, and it handles the magic of focusing. And that whole focusing process, it has a name you absolutely need to know: accommodation. This is the amazing process where that ciliary muscle changes the shape of the lens, letting you instantly shift your focus from, say, a distant mountain to the words on this screen. Now, this is where it gets really clever. When you're looking at something far away, that ciliary muscle is actually relaxed. This pulls on these little fibers, called zonular fibers, and that tension pulls the lens flat. But the moment you look at something up close, like your phone, that muscle contracts. The tension on the fibers goes slack, and the lens is free to bulge out into a more round, powerful shape. It's just a beautiful piece of biological engineering. Okay, we've made it to the very heart of the system, the innermost layer, the retina. Sticking with our camera analogy, if the eye is the camera, the retina is the sensor. It's this incredibly delicate sheet of tissue lining the back of the eye, and its entire job is to turn light into electrical signals the brain can actually understand. But wait, there's more. The retina itself is actually made of 2 sublayers. The inner one is the neural layer. This is where the famous photoreceptors, your rods and cones, live. They're the ones actually detecting the light. Right behind them, you have the outer pigmented layer. Think of it as the support crew. It nourishes the neural layer, and crucially, it absorbs any stray light, which keeps your vision sharp and clear. So one layer detects, the other supports.
Now, on this retinal surface, there's a very important landmark called the optic disc. This is basically grand central station for the eye. It's the spot where all the nerve fibers bundle together to become the optic nerve, heading for the brain, and it's also where the main artery enters to supply blood.
But here's the catch. Because this spot is so jam-packed with on-ramps and off-ramps for nerves and blood vessels, there's literally no room for any of those light-detecting photoreceptor cells. It's a total gap in the sensor. So that leads to a really good question, right? If we all have this anatomical blind spot in each eye, why don't we see a black hole floating in front of us? The answer is, your brain is an incredible editor. It just takes the information from your other eye and the surrounding visual field and seamlessly patches over the hole. You never even know it's there. Pretty wild.
All right, for our last topic, let's talk about what's going on inside the eyeball. It's not empty in there. It's filled with special fluids that nourish the tissues, and this is critically important, maintain the internal pressure that keeps the eye's shape.
So, up in the front of the eye, you have two small spaces, the anterior chamber, which is between the cornea and the iris, and the posterior chamber, right behind the iris. Both of these are filled with a clear fluid called aqueous humor, and this fluid is on a constant journey, being produced in the back, flowing through the pupil to the front, and then draining away.
And this is where the anatomy becomes incredibly important clinically. That aqueous humor has a very specific drainage route through a tiny channel called the canal of Schlemm. Now, what happens if that drain gets clogged? Well, the fluid keeps being produced, but it can't get out. The pressure inside the eye starts to build, and that pressure can crush the delicate optic nerve, leading to a serious condition called glaucoma.
And that really brings us to our final thought for today. It's pretty staggering, isn't it? How a single point of failure in one tiny, microscopic drainage canal can ultimately lead to irreversible blindness. It's a powerful reminder of just how delicate and complex this whole system is, and why knowing this anatomy inside and out is so incredibly vital.